But Iran is in disarray. There's like the same thing is re-emerging. Some of the leaders who are like, provincial leaders or like tribal leaders, they're basically running their region like it's an independent country. Sometimes they're doing deals with foreign companies or foreign countries too. Like it doesn't matter. They're just doing deals. Oh, this is within my part. You want to look for oil there? Here you can have stuff like that. So that kind of stuff starts happening, and that's a huge problem, right? Same problem they had during the Constitution. It's a lot harder to influence a country when it's in disarray or it has a parliament. So British come up with this solution, British-Persian treaty, which they offer, where they're like, hey, we're not going to make you a colony, but how about this? We'll take care of your treasury and we'll take care of your army, and you guys run the country how you want. The parliament obviously says no, because this is the same thing. Even though formally they may not have a lot of power, this is like actually just submitting to Britain without actually being a colony. So they say no. So British then go around. They don't want to invade Iran, right? I'm sure they're not in a good position after World War II financially. So they don't want to invade Iran, but they do want the same solution, basically have someone like a Shah come back who can take care of the country, make it more stable, and then British can influence the Shah instead of trying to influence a bunch of different people in the country. And they found this guy called Reza Khan, who's a Cossack. Based on what I know, it's like a Ukrainian thing. A lot of Cossacks came from Ukraine back in the day. This is like Peter the Great and all that. So he's actually a Cossack commander. He used to work for one of the Khazar Shah before, or like he was part of the army of the Khazar dynasty. But now he has his own army. Not very big, but he has an army nonetheless. And guess what? Now his army has the support of the British Empire. So we don't know a lot about his beginning. I think only thing we know is like the stuff he has told us. And we don't know that too much. But when he comes onto the scene after World War I, around 1990, 1920, I think 21. So I'm guessing he had contact with the British before this. And British start paying for his soldiers, expanding the army a little bit. And with British financial support, he marches to Tehran, takes over the country. Now, he's not too quick to basically become a Shah, but when he takes over the country in 21, he's basically the main guy. He's running the country. He has the ultimate power in anything that he wants to get involved in, but he's still not like a very official position. He's not in an official position. Initially, he becomes the army commander of the whole country. Then he becomes Minister of War, and by 2025, he's Prime Minister, and he's getting ready to take over the country, basically turn it into like his own dynasty.
1925. So this is after the.
In 1921 is when in 1920 is when he starts talking to British. 21 is when he goes to Tehran, takes over, basically a coup, right? He marches with his army, not alone. And then from 21, he's basically ruling the country, but he's still not in like an official position.
Well, who's he overthrowing? There was no Shah, right? There was only only parliament. Okay.
Yeah, he's just overthrowing the parliament. There is a Shah, but he doesn't have as much power right now. Yeah. There's a teenage Shah.
Oh, really?
After the British and Russian come in 1911, they overthrow the Shah who was there, and they put in a Shah who's a teenager.
So it's the same. So what is the seventh Shah on that?
Yeah, so he's a teenager. He's not even in the country that much, the Shah who's there. But again, Parliament has a lot of control too. But the Shah is not even in the country that much. He likes visiting Europe a lot and even staying in Europe. So Reza Khan, first he becomes the army commander, then Minister of War. By 1925, he's the Prime Minister, so the highest, constitutional position. And he's getting ready to become Shah. And it was very unique how he takes control, right? So at this time, I think the Turkey stuff is going on. Turkey is becoming a republic after the Ottoman Empire. And Turkey is going this route, which is like very secular. They don't want religion playing a big role in the politics. So Shah goes to the clergy in Iran, be like, hey, how about we do the same thing? We'll become a republic. We'll take the route that Turkey is going. And of course, clergy is not going to like that, right? These are clerics and stuff. No one likes losing their power, even if they are religious people. So they're like, nah, let's not do that. How about we just keep the monarchy? We'd rather go back to the monarchy instead of the parliament, instead of the republic, because at least that way, monarchy has always been respectful of the religion. At least in Iran, I guess. Not all over the world, but yeah. So he's like, all right, since if you guys want it that bad, I'll become the Shah. I'll take one for the team. So yeah, he becomes the Shah. Very Napoleon-like, by the way, too. So he puts the crown on his head himself, like Napoleon has done.